Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Halo Effect. I am your host, Robert Lockhart. Hey, let's talk some baseball. So, before we really get into it, two more pitchers off the market. One off the trade block, one off the free agent market. Yes, Dylan Cease has been traded away from the White Sox. He's headed to San Diego. Come on, Halos. You didn't really think that the Angels were going to get Dylan Cease, did you? I said from day one, they didn't have the prospects for it. They didn't have the pieces. They just don't. There's really no way that they were going to get Dylan Cease. Plus, it just seems like all they really wanted to do was upgrade their bullpen. They didn't really upgrade anywhere else, to be honest with you. So, yeah, they weren't going to do that. And also, Blake Snell. Blake Snell is heading to San Francisco on a 2-year, $65 million deal. $65 million for 2 years. Are you kidding me? Really? You're going to pay more than $30 million for a guy who allows a lot of base runners? Sure, he's a Cy Young Award winner. He still had a high opponent on base percentage. He had to consistently work himself out of jams. So you know what? Go to San Francisco. Have fun, Blake. That's all I'm saying. Just have fun in San Francisco because you're better off there. Besides, now you have an established ace to actually pitch behind in Logan Webb. So that's actually better for you. It's better for the Giants than it is for the Angels. Trust me on this. Yes, he would have been an upgrade, but still not the upgrade we're looking for. That's the best way to really put it. So, now, with any kind of news on the Halo front, been on a bit of a losing streak. They've lost their last 3 games. They had one game, I guess, was rained out. It just said it got canceled. It didn't say why. So I'm guessing he just got rained out in Arizona. So, Chase Silseth was supposed to pitch that game, so his start's getting pushed back. I think he's going to be pitching in a minor league game on Thursday, I want to say. I believe it's on Thursday. He's pitching a minor league game. So, Jose Soriano, who they're starting to stretch out into a starter, gave up another 3 runs in like 2 1/3 innings. Well, if you really want the guy to be a starter, he's going to take time to develop. He's going to take a lot more time in the minor leagues, and it's going to take time away from him being in our bullpen, which is where he was very effective. He was far more effective in our bullpen than he's going to be as a starter. All I can say is that is the best way for him to go, is into the bullpen as a reliever. If you want to make him a long reliever, like have him out there for a couple of innings, maybe. But he established himself as one of our better relievers, and you want to take that away from us. I don't like that. That's not a wise move. I say keep him as a reliever, and we got a couple of decent starters developing in Caden Dana, and Victor Medeiros has even gotten better. That's what I've been saying all spring, is he's gotten a lot better. He's actually been finding the strike zone. That's a huge improvement for him. And I think things go up from here for him. He's not exactly what I would call an ace of a staff either. Caden Dana, if he can put 2 to 3 more miles an hour on his fastball with a lot more bite on his breaking ball, then yeah, definitely a number 1 guy for certain. He's got all the other elements. So, with that said, I believe Caden Dana, I believe he can be a number 1. I don't think his ceiling is a mid-rotation starter, despite what Jim Callis or Jonathan Mayo might say. All due respect to the guys, because they know scouting much better than I do. I can tell you that for a fact. They know swing path. They know landing spot. They know release point. They know that kind of stuff. Me, I couldn't tell you that to save my life. I do know how to read a scouting report, though. I do know how to take that scouting report and put it toward what works best. I'm a strategical analysis guy. That's my thing. So, with that said, I believe that the scouting report on Caden Dana having the ceiling of a mid-rotation starter is a little bit off. I believe he can be a number one if he can add some more velocity to his fastball and a little bit more bite to his slider. But he's got to be able to do that. So, I've seen some good, some bad. Again, the addition of Aaron Hicks I really like. That's done very well for the Angels thus far this spring. It's spring training, shaking off the rust, just kind of getting things ready for the long 162 game season. Not everyone's going to do well at the very beginning of the season. Not everyone's going to do very well at the beginning of spring either. For those Halo fans who remember Tim Salmon in his playing days, he was a very slow starter too. It took him till about early mid-May really to get going. But once he did, boy, my Lord, did he carry that team on his back every year. By about mid-May, that man started wailing on the ball, and Tim Salmon was the team leader for absolute certainty. And now I believe Mike Trout's taken up that particular mantle. I've noticed the last couple of seasons that there have been a couple of players donning the number 15. Ladies and gentlemen, that number is sacred. It's not retired. It can be worn, but it is sacred. I know Salmon's not a big stickler about it and all that, but for us Halo fans who really respected the man, it's a sacred number. I believe the only person who really deserves to wear that number, I don't think he will because he just has far too much respect for Tim Salmon, is Mike Trout. He's really the only one who I believe deserves to wear it. But that's me, and that's up to management, it's up to the players, it's up to them. But I think it's sacred, and I think only Trout should wear it. But again, that's me. What do I know? Except, baseball. I know baseball. That stuff I know. Very well, in fact. But either way. With that said, I have seen some good things. I do believe that we will see big things from the young core four that we have. Ohapi, Moniak, Neto, and Shanuel. They're all going to do really well this season. I believe we will see a return to form from Mike Trout. I believe he'll have a full healthy season. Yes, I do believe there's a high probability that Anthony Rendon will probably be hurt again. I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I am. I don't think I am. I would like to see a very good draft this year. There's some good players that I've seen in the draft draft prospects. I know the one guy I would love to have that we're not going to get. I guarantee he's going to be picked far before the Angels even have a chance. The Angels pick at number 8. He's going to go in the top 3. It's J.J. Witherholt. As a second baseman, my Lord, this guy's ability to play the game. You talk about a guy who takes the game seriously. And that's the kind of player I would love to have, but he's not going to last at number 8. He's not. He's just not. If he doesn't go in the top 3, he'll go in the top 5 for certain. Anthony Costanzioni is a two-way player out of Florida, I believe. I don't know if he's a Gator, but I believe he's out of Florida somewhere. Lefty pitcher. He's got fantastic stuff. Big time power bat. Is a pretty decent hitter. He can hit for a decent average. So I mean, you talk about a guy who could probably replace Otani's production at the plate. I don't know on the mound, but at the plate, probably. So that would be a nice pickup. Again, I think he'll probably be gone by the time the Angels have a chance to pick. But I don't know. I honestly have absolutely no clue. JJ Witherholt for sure has got to go in the top 3, so we don't have a chance at him. But hey, let's have a good draft. Let's hope that the draft picks that we get are good enough to actually boost our farm system, because ours is number 30. The Angels have the worst farm system in the major leagues. How sad is that? It's the big remark about it is, well, the Angels have brought their prospects up very early, very quickly to the majors. Yeah, okay, so they did three of them. It was 3 of them. Okay. Sam Bachman's technically in the majors, but he's in the bullpen right now. He hasn't really been doing anything because he's still recovering from an injury. But Zach Neto, yeah, he came up pretty quick. Sean Noel came up after only like a month after being drafted. So yeah, these guys have gotten brought up relatively quickly, but that doesn't cover rounds 2, 3, 4, all the way through 20. That doesn't count any of them. You guys got to be able to bring in decent prospects. I mean, what was our 3rd round pick last year? Alberto Rios. The guy can hit, but he can't field. They said he was a lousy outfielder. He's an okay catcher. He played the infield when he was in high school. But when he came to Stanford, the big thing was his bat. He can hit. You know what? You might as well just classify the guy as a DH. Just classify him as a DH. He can't field for squat, but he can hit the ball really well. You do that, you may increase his stock. You never know. But after that, there's nothing but a bunch of relief pitchers. You got Dana, you got Medeiros, Barrett Kent is a young kid that we drafted last year. He's like in rookie ball, I believe. They still have hopes for Jack Kachanovich for some reason. I have no idea why. The man's, anytime he actually does find the strike zone, much like Luis Garcia, like I've said, it's like, well, he throws a lot of strikes. Yeah, but those strikes get hit. Problem. It's like movement, there's like relatively none, and that's when he does find the strike zone. That's if he finds the strike zone, mind you. And we got to do better with the draft. We got to do better with increasing our farm system, because that is what's going to win us championships, fellas. The farm system is where it starts. That's what you got to focus on. You focus on that, you improve that. If you can get this team's farm system from 30 to say about top 15, then we got something to work with. Then we have something to really be, grateful for and very excited about. Because right now, I'm not, and I'm a huge Angel fan. I'm not excited about the farm system. I don't like what the farm system has to offer, except for a few players. That's it. Okay, Dana, maybe Victor Medeiros, and maybe Nelson Rada. Maybe. That's a big maybe. He has to continue to improve his hitting skills, which I think he might. But he's your typical center fielder. He can field really well, he can get on base and steal bases. I'm looking for a game changer. That's what I'm looking for. There's absolutely no game changer in the farm system. Nowhere. You don't have a Wyatt Langford. You don't have a Paul Skeens. You don't have a Spencer Jones. You don't have a guy like this. That's a problem. That needs to change. And that needs to change coming up this July. So, Halo fans, I'm going to leave you simply with the fact that ups and downs. I like where the core 4 is going. I don't like the fact that our only choices for opening day are going to be Patrick Sandoval or Griffin Canning. Those are only choices for opening day starter against Corbin Burns. That's not going to go well. That will not go well. So hopefully it gets better from there. That's the only thing I can say. My biggest prediction, the best the Angels are going to do, aside from the fact that they'll improve their win-loss record, I believe they'll have about 83 to 84 wins this coming season. That's a huge improvement. But I believe the biggest competition they're going to give is Seattle for third place. That's really where it's going to go. So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we get a full season from Anthony Rendon. Finally. A return to MVP form from Mike Trout. And maybe by mid-season they'll see, okay, we do need a number one guy. We need it. We absolutely need that. And they actually get something. Whether it be an established guy. I'd like to see Walker Buehler, but that's not going to happen simply because of the fact that he's not going to really return to the mound until mid-season for the Dodgers. And even then, he's going to be, pretty rusty. So he's got to shake that stuff off. I know he'll be a free agent at the end of this year, so maybe in free agency, but he'll be tied to a draft pick. I guarantee you the Dodgers are going to offer him at least a qualifying offer and work out a deal from there. So Corbin Burns, he's only 1 year in Baltimore. That would be a nice pickup, but because he's spending the entire year, he'll be tied to a draft pick too, guaranteed. So let's figure this out, fellas. Let's be smart about this. Let's be creative. I know a couple of young arms in Philadelphia that are ready to come up to the bigs. One's ready to make his major league debut next year for sure. The other one's kind of recovering from a shoulder issue. Both of them very good. Maybe we get one, maybe both. Hey, again, Manasian, get creative. You never know. But I'll leave you guys with that. So until next time, go Halos.